Starting to glow.
Oh, no, there you go. So there you go. You're streaming. It's red. So then go to the right. Connect.
What? Nope, she's there. She's got. There you go. Go live.
Go live.
Down at the bottom.
And then you say, "We're live."
We are live. We're live.
We are live.
We're live.
This is the live view, and this is the setup view. So then, I like to use the cube zoom for the intro and the outro, and then everything else gets a cut. That's what I do. I mean, whether you want to keep it consistent.
Welcome to Training with Frank.
So now you're gonna, so you're gonna want to put the intro into this block. So it's
Let's see who's
there.
watching.
Hit restart.
Who's watching? Who do I have to say
And
hi
then
to?
now all you gotta do is hit cube zoom when he's ready to go. So.
Hey, there's George Howell. Hello, sir.
Hi, George.
And I have nothing on YouTube yet. I mean,
Hi,
YouTube.
Colin. Oh, I got Colin there too.
Colin's there too?
Yeah. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Colin.
Hi, Colin.
Hello, Richard and Frank and Jess.
Are you gonna set your?
We
phone
have
or do you want me to
Jess
set it up?
today. Jess is working with Frank today, so on the days that Frank can't be here, Jess is going to fill in. Or they're working something. I don't know what the hell's
She's probably
going
gonna do a
on.
better job than me, and I just have to let her do it. I don't want
Excuse
to, though.
any technical difficulties.
I don't want to though. I don't want. I like my job. I don't want to let it go.
I want another try.
I enjoy collaborating though. Collaborating is awesome and fun. So there's no reason
It is fun.
that I wouldn't ever have that. Take that opportunity when it comes around. I love it.
Why can't I see my show
The show's
live?
about being engaged, and that's something that I really noticed when I first came in here and watched the show. When I met Richard and I watched the show a couple of times, I could tell it was about because he talked to his audience a lot. But he was
And
never
there's
looking
Cheryl.
at-
Hello, Cheryl.
He was never looking at. The
And there's
camera.
Ryan. Hello, Ryan.
How is he? Where is he seeing that? Oh, here.
He's got his own. He's got just like you've got.
Just
through
like you've
Facebook
got, I've
and
got
YouTube,
over here.
He's got the same thing over there. He sets his up the same way I set up on.
I'm trying to figure out how he's seeing who's here, though.
He can see it on his.
I can see it on mine.
No, I know, but
What do you mean how he's seeing it?
no. Doesn't say who's
Oh,
here.
crap.
Oh,
It's
the
lag.
comments.
You're gonna get a lot of lag.
Yeah, you're gonna get
Things will
lag.
happen in cascading fashion in general. Sometimes it's up to like it's been up to like 30, 40 seconds before. Like he's having a conversation with somebody over there, and you're looking over here for the comment, but the comment doesn't appear until their conversation is over.
Oh, okay.
That's something that happens.
Yes, we're working hard. There we go. There I am live now.
2 minutes.
2 minutes? 2
Your
minutes.
job is also to make sure that you stay focused on timing.
2 minutes.
And at 1:30 is when I do the cube.
At
zoom.
1:30, yep, you'll know, you'll kind of.
I want to see. Oh, there we go. There's the chats.
I like to have them point. So okay,
Nope.
and here we go.
I need to go to my
Sometimes I'm
chat.
explaining something. Depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm a little more up. Sometimes I'm a little more quiet.
I'm trying to figure
Hey,
out
there's
the
Jerry Knapp. Jerry, I'm going to be talking about you today. Hey, we got Cheryl C. from Thompson. We have Brian Baker. We got Ben Brady. We got Mark Baker. Wow. Hello, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the show for Friday. For those of you that are not with us here in southern Alberta, yes, we are getting another torrential snowpour.
It's cold.
It's not cold.
It's -4.
-4 is not cold. So we have somebody new in the studio today, just so you guys know. We have Jess, and she is learning the ropes on how to switch stuff. So
So if you
Frank is
go-
teaching her.
To this, and just click that, the whole
I
picture.
don't wanna.
Brian Baker says he's having a fun evening tonight,
No,
upgrading the
don't.
power supply. He's
Can't cover cameras.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there, Brian. I've been there.
Come on. I wanna-
Yep.
So that's Jess. Say hi, Jess.
Hello.
Hi, Jess.
So there's Jess
Welcome, everybody.
and Frank.
We're gonna switch back to Richard now.
Oh, thanks.
Yo.
Okay. See? Everybody gets to be on camera.
The ever elusive.
I hate being on camera. I just do it for like in little tiny moments to be silly or.
It's 1:30. I'm gonna do it.
It's 1:30.
Yeah, it's 1:30.
Okay, let's run that intro.
I like when he does that. When he does the point, let's run that intro. It's very dynamic. I really like that. So it's the same thing at the end of the show when he kind of points at it.
And then
Sort of
it'll.
gives that finality, right? Because you don't want to cut him off, you know. And at the end of the show, it's very wishy-washy.
Hey, welcome to the Friday edition of Coffee with Rich. I'm your host, Richard Cleveland. I'm here with you 3 times a week. On Monday and Friday, we do a live stream if you're not familiar with us. And every Wednesday, we have a recorded show. And that's usually a little bit of a longer and more in-depth show. This past week, or on Wednesday this week, we did a look at doing a temperature tower, just like this little guy. This guy right here. Here, I'll go to my overhead so you guys can see it. So we did this temperature tower on Wednesday, and I showed you how to do it in Cura. And the Cura that I used this past weekend, or on Wednesday, was the version that comes with most printers. I got a lot of backlash, I'm going to say. Not even really backlash, but I got a lot of questions as to why did I not use the most current version of Cura. And the reason for that is because the version that I showed is the one that comes with most printers that you buy today. Some of you in our audience are experienced and you know what you're doing. Some folks in our audience are still pretty new to 3D printing. So I wanted to use the version of Cura that they are most familiar with at this point. So that kind of clears that up. I will do another video on the latest version of Cura showing you some of the features. We'll go through doing another temp tower and show you how to do that. It's not much different from the older version. There still is that tab up at the top that says plugins, and you can do it the same way. I'm going to be taking your questions today, but there's a couple things I want to go through first on the wrap up. CR10 fan wires. I've had a lot of questions about this because, as you guys know, we did an episode where we talked about upgrading the fans on your 3D printer. And on the CR10, when you're changing the fan that is in the very front of the CR10, there's a blue and a yellow wire. So those two wires, people are quite confused about. So the yellow wire is positive, so that is going to go to the red wire off of your fan. And the blue wire is negative, and that will attach to the black wire of your fan. I hope that clears that up. If you guys have any more issues with that fan, please drop me an email at richard@thefirstlayer. So if you have any questions, you can always send me an email. I'm always available for that. Can you bring up my email address there? Should be the last one in the bottom row. So you can just send an email to this address, richard@thefirstlayer.com, and I will answer your email. And if it's a great question, and I've got a couple today that I want to cover, I will use it on the show as well, and we'll give you a little shout out. So George, I thought the version of Cura had to be compatible with your computer. I've been having trouble with Windows 10. George, the version of Cura that is out now is compatible with Windows 10. I have that version of Cura, the one that I showed you guys on Wednesday. That version works flawlessly on Windows 10. So I know because I've got it on 3 or 4 different computers. So it is compatible. He says it's not compatible with his computer. Upgrade to a newer version then, and just see if that changes anything for you. Ben, okay, I'm back. Had to process a ticket for somebody. Ben, if everybody doesn't know, Ben is a longtime friend of mine, and we've been friends for a number of years. And Ben is a justice of the peace in Texas, so yeah, he has to process tickets sometimes. Greg Sorensen, howdy, sir. It's Friday. I haven't had nearly enough to drink. Rye whiskey usually. Yeah. So I hope that clears that up on the CR10 wiring and Cura. So we'll move forward from that. I want to show you guys something here. We've got 2 guys in our community that I kind of want to highlight today. And the first one I want to highlight is Emilio. And if we can go to my computer screen real quick. And we'll just cut to my computer. All right, so Emilio Witt is an amazing designer. And he's one of many in our group. But recently, Emilio came out with this brand new Superman model. And you can see here on your screen, It's just amazing. Like, this is probably one of the best Superman models I've seen. Him and Malex are like right on par with each other when it comes to their design work. These are two of my favorite artists right now that are producing 3D printable models. And I can't say enough good things about them. So Emilio is a member here in our group. If you're interested in any of his models, get in contact with him here on the group. I'm sure he will be able to get you, the model that you're looking for. Now, the next person I want to talk about is this guy. This is the medical droid from Star Wars. In case anybody doesn't know, you saw this guy, helping Luke out when he was in the Bacta tank in The Empire Strikes Back. Now, this was not modeled by Jerry Knapp, but Jerry Knapp did build it, paint it, and put all the work into it. Jerry is a phenomenal artist when it comes to his finishing work on 3D models. If I were looking at this right now, I couldn't tell, except for a couple of minor spots, that this had been 3D printed. And he put the lights in it. This thing looks amazing. I absolutely love Jerry's work, and Jerry doesn't get enough credit for the stuff that he does. So if you're looking for this model or other models, you can go and check out, what is it called? And I'm sure Jerry's going to put it in the show notes or in the chat. Build It and They Will Come. It is a Star Wars subscription service, I guess. It's done by an individual. This guy has some amazing work. I'm a subscriber, and he releases new models just for subscribers every month. So go and check that out. So let's go back to my camera. See, there we are. Look at that. All right, so let's go back and look at what you guys are asking about. Ryan Manson, he says 2-1B. Yes, that is correct. Kudos to Jerry Knapp. Build It and They Will Come. Thank you, Jerry, for putting that in the chat. And if you can, put that over in the YouTube chat as well.
There's a question from Cheryl on YouTube.
Question from Cheryl on YouTube.
4 or 5 up. Big paragraph.
Oh, yes, I see it. Is it possible on the CR10S to set the X, Y, and Z coordinates in the middle of a print? Will it resume print at the coordinates I enter? She says she clogged the nozzle and it was printing before she noticed. Now, as far as I know, the easy answer to that is no. You can't manually enter in coordinates. However, I am going to look into that to see if there is a way to do that, if there's something that we can turn on in our firmware so that might be an extra feature. And if it's not, I will go ahead and contact the guys from Marlin and let them know that this might be a feature they can look at in the near future. But as far as I know, no. If anybody else can answer that question better than me, please put it in the comments. There's Don, the German printing nerd. Hello, sir.
Hi, Don.
I missed you earlier. Yeah, that pretty much covers all the questions. Oh, he says, Ben Brady over on Facebook says, I may have committed the unpardonable sin. I started a print job and didn't wait for the first layer to get put down. I'm hoping it prints when I get home this evening. Ooh, Christy says hello. Thank you very much, Christy. I miss you too, by the way. Christy and Ben, they're some great people.
Nice.
I think you might be okay. Just double check it. If it was printing fine before, it should be printing fine now. I don't think you have much to worry about. There's something I want to quickly tackle. I've gotten a lot of questions recently about off-gassing of the plastics, particularly PLA. One of our customers here at Spool 3D had asked me if for some reason that they should be worried about the off-gassing of PLA. No, you don't have to worry about the off-gassing of PLA because it is a corn-based material. It's not harmful. I mean, if you're standing over it for 8 hours huffing it in, you might get a little bit of a headache. But you know, it's a cornstarch headache. It's not, you know, it's not an ABS headache.
Well, Be a hell of a hangover, though.
Yeah, it'd be a heck of a hangover. That being said, I think you're fine printing PLA. I don't think it's going to be hazardous to anybody's health. PLA is a low temperature printing material, as most people know, and it is not harmful. The other safety aspect that I want to cover is somebody had also asked me about about printers being a fire hazard. Now, that can happen. I'm not going to say that it can't happen, but the only way that it does happen is if you have a poor power supply or you've wired it incorrectly. That's where you can get a spark and cause some issues. You might remember I posted a picture not too long ago on our Facebook group of a person whose printer literally burnt down. And that was because that they didn't wire it correctly and it sparked and of course started a fire. Just be aware that when you are setting up your printer or if you're building a printer from scratch, have some knowledge of electricity when you are doing this and really study how the wires get hooked up. Even if you're building a kit, study how the wires go together. And most kits will have information that's going to be probably broken English for the most part, but it will guide you through what wire goes where and how to hook them up. So please pay attention to that, be safe, and keep printing. I'm going to look over here. Brian Baker, I have paused prints in Pronter face, moved up, and then returned to the last position. I haven't tried resuming from an upper position though. Yeah, and that's because, and I will tell you that right now I don't think there's a feature in Marlin where you can, bring the Z height up, move things around, and then tell it to resume printing and it'll go back to where it finished. Because it's already taken that into memory and says, okay, now I'm at this position. I'm going to start printing at this position. There is a study. Andrew Lawrence says he's got a study a while back of materials that he's seen. And if you can post a link to that, Andrew, that would be great. Just as a side, Ben's asking, if you have parrots as pets, you do not want to be printing with ABS. The fumes can kill them if you don't have good ventilation.
Really?
The fumes from ABS, and this is part of the reason we tell you to print in an enclosure and try and vent those gases to the outside, because ABS has a carcinogen in it that can not only be harmful to your pets, but can be harmful to yourself as well. So take great care if you are going to be printing in a separate room where there's no pets, like the garage, or maybe your man cave, or your woman cave, because women print too. They do exist. And I can attest to that, because 5% of our viewership is women. And it's not because I'm a handsome guy.
No, maybe a little.
Maybe a little, I don't know. But that being said, yeah, put your printers in an area, if you're printing with ABS, where the off gases can dissipate in a wide area, and then you won't have any problems. Yes, Brian, a fume extractor will catch ABS fumes in a carbon filter. That is absolutely correct. It can happen for you. So, are there any filaments, Jess is asking, that would be toxic to dogs? Well, yes, there is, and that is ABS. The fumes from ABS, again, it's not a gas that you want to have going through your house, especially around your pets, children, infants, that sort of thing, because it can cause issues. So ABS should be printed in an enclosure and off-gassed outside. So, and a fume extractor is a great idea. There's plenty of fume extractors that you can build out of a 5-pail bucket from Rona, or, okay, we're in Canada, that's Rona. Lowe's for you guys in the States, and Home Depot. You can buy a 5-gallon bucket, and there's tons of fume extractors, homemade ones, that you can make just from materials you can pick up from your home center. My dog ate a small PLA model. He's fine. Yeah, PLA is cornstarch, so yeah, he should be fine. It might have been a little tough coming out the other side, though. Hello, Derek Matthews. Welcome. Okay, so we got through that. I want to tell you guys that we are going to be at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. I'm going to be in the booth with Spool 3D. Spool 3D is going to be there showing off some printers, some prints. I'm going to be there answering any questions that you have on 3D printing. We're going to be showing off some really cool cosplay stuff that you can do with your 3D printer as well while we're there. And I might just do a little live stream because it's on a Friday and I'm not around. I won't be in the studio that Friday. I'll be at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo all day. So maybe I'll do a little live stream from there. How's that sound? If you guys want that, give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment down below, both on Facebook and on YouTube for wherever you happen to be. And we will do a live stream on Friday, maybe a live stream sometime during the weekend as well. That could be a lot of fun.
3-day live stream. Every day you're
3-day live stream marathon.
Live stream marathon. There.
4 days
Wow.
of comic and so 4 days of streaming.
4 days of streaming. Could we do 4 days of streaming?
Why not?
I think we might be able to. We won't have the highest quality streaming, but we could probably stream a little bit.
It wouldn't be 24 hours.
No, it wouldn't be 24 hours. Okay, let's move on. There's a bunch of people I need to thank. First and foremost, I want to thank my Patreon subscribers. And you guys have helped us immensely move forward with this show. And it's because of everybody sharing and becoming a part of Patreon. Patreon helps us monthly support the show with things that we need, such as Filament, extra parts, stuff to show you guys, things like that. We do get this space for free, so that's a bonus for us. But there are other overhead costs, and our Patreon subscribers help us with that immensely. And I also want to thank all of you that have joined the Buy Me a Coffee. I love it. It's great. Some of the comments you guys are leaving just make me laugh, and I really enjoy that. So please, by all means, continue to buy me a coffee because I love it. And one day I might have more coffee. So if you want to buy me a coffee, it's buymeacoffee.com/thefirstlayer, and Patreon again is patreon.com/thefirstlayer. So thank you to everybody who has been a subscriber on both of those, or have helped out in some way on both of those, because you guys help make this show happen. We have crossed our 4,000 watch hour limit on Facebook, or on YouTube, pardon me. So our 4,000 watch hours. By no means does that mean that you guys have to stop watching now. You have to keep watching. And we are at 705 subscribers on YouTube. I think I checked last, it was 705. We are 295 away from hitting that 1,000 mark. And it's all because you guys are sharing the shows and you're sharing this with everybody else that is out there. So thank you very, very much for your continued support of the show, and I hope that you guys love what we're doing here. Now, let's see what we got for questions. Raya is better. I agree, George. I agree. Raya is better. Many more Star Wars models on 3D printing and tinkering if you are a member of my group. Yes, Jerry, go over and check out Jerry's group. I forgot to mention that, Jerry. 3D printing and tinkering over on Facebook. That's Jerry Knapp's group. Go and become a member, and there's tons of Star Wars stuff there. Now, we are getting ready to, we're starting to get ready to do some stuff for the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. If there's something that you think I should print between now and the 26th, let me know. If it's not a long print, we can get it done. If it's a long print, it may take a couple of days. So please, let us know what you'd like us to print, and maybe we'll print it for the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. Coming up next week, you guys, let me just go to my overhead camera. You see I've got a lot of stuff here on my table. I'm just going to move my keyboard out of the way. So we have with us the TH3D's Studio.com's Easy ABL sensor. We are going to install that not this coming Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. So in 2 weeks, we're going to install this. and I'm going to walk you through the entire installation, how to print this bracket, if you haven't bought one from TH3D, and how to install it and get the firmware all set up for it. Okay, so that's something that's coming up. I'm going to be giving away these little maker coins at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, and it was Chris Anderson who designed this, and Chris Anderson is one of our Patreons, and he was the winner of our maker coin contest, and we might hold another maker coin contest, who knows. But we're going to be giving away a lot of these, so stop by, say hi, ask your questions, and we'll get you one of those. Oh, I missed Jess's hand. And now, let's talk about neutering. Okay, we're not going to talk about neutering. We're going to talk about the Neutered dial indicator. This is an inexpensive indicator that you can buy to do bed tramming. And what is bed tramming? Well, that's the proper way to level the bed on your CR10 or any other printer that you may have. How a dial indicator works is when the tip of the probe touches the bed, it's going to indicate the distance in which it is out of whack. So what you want to do is when you get to your first corner, if you're using a CR10, this is the bracket, and you can download this off of Thingiverse. Just look for dial indicator brackets. You slide it in, you attach this to the outside, the front outside of your CR10, and then get your first corner, the first front left corner, set with your paper test. And once you do that, then wherever this dial is on that paper test, you're going to just zero it out, wherever that dial ends up. So you'll zero it out, and then you will continue on and do all corners. And you're not going to touch this once you've zeroed it out. All you're going to basically do is just use the thumb screws on the bottom of your bed to make sure that everything is lined up. Once you've done that, you've trammed the bed to the tool head, and the tool head then becomes in perfect alignment with the bed. So make sure that your bed and your nozzle are heated up before you do this. That way you're going to get a more accurate reading, okay? So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to show you how to do that in an upcoming episode. And this is just another one by eye gauging. This is a digital version. This one doesn't quite fit in that holder because it's got the mount on the back. So you have to print off a different holder for it. I printed off this holder for the Wanhao Duplicator i3, and it just fits in there. You just put a bolt through it and then just put it over the side of your printer. And I'm going to show you guys again how all that's done. So that is coming up in an upcoming show. Let me just take some quick questions here.
Ben E. Brady on Facebook has an interesting question.
Have you been following the master spool project that some of the filament makers are jumping on board with to help limit the amount of plastic that are ending up in landfills? And it's funny that you should mention that, Ben, because we here at Spool 3D have been looking at that. We are talking to them, or actually Derek, the owner of Spool 3D, is talking to his manufacturer right now to see if we can't get bulk reels like that you can print out your own master spool. And I am going to show off the master spool system in an upcoming episode. Oh yeah, there we go. Switch my camera. That might help.
We're talking with your hands.
I'm talking with my hands.
Yeah.
Did you guys like that? I was talking with my hands. Yes, let's get back to that master spool project. If you go on to Thingiverse, you can download the master spool for yourself, and you can print it on most 8-inch by 8-inch bed printers. It's a 2-part system, and then you can order in just the filament. And I'm going to show you guys how all that works as soon as we get some filament in, and we can do it here. But yes, I agree with that. Let's keep going. What else do we have? I will watch your videos if you give me moderator, Arion55 says. Well, unfortunately, I haven't set up moderators yet, but if that's a condition to watch the show, let me think about it. Andrew, the combo of master spool and injection molded spool would be ideal. I agree. But there's no manufacturers out there right now that I know of. There might be a couple of cardboard guys out there that use cardboard reels that are doing it, but nobody else I know is doing them as a replacement. But people are now starting to come on board and dropping the spools. We have a spool around here somewhere, an empty spool.
Oh, I'm sure there's
We've got tons of them around here. I probably could have just, oh, there we go, right there. So the spools that we get now are clear. They're not black like this anymore. They are clear, so you can see your filament in them. But these don't come apart. Let me go to the back to this upper camera here. There we are. You can see that these don't come apart. They're glued together. Even on the inside, it's really tough to kind of spring them apart. So yeah, I really like that master spools system. I've seen it. I think it's great. So yeah, I really want to get into that master spool system. I think it's going to be great. So there we go. Only Das Filament in Germany at this time delivers. That's coming from Don, the German printing nerd. The combo of master spool injection, yes, okay. Include the design from Thingiverse at the bottom of your video for these master spools. Thank you very much. So this is the master spool that was printed off here, and how these things work is, see, we're getting set up for this, is you split them apart, you basically print them one each side. They do take a fair amount of printing to do, but there are some great features on these, and I'll go back to this overhead cam. You can lock your filament in, for one, so when you're spooling it on here, it can lock in. You see these little grooves that are here? These little grooves are for when the zip ties are on. So you can put the entire spool on, close it up, like so, lock it in place, and then you can just clip the zip ties and your spool won't go everywhere. Here's another really nice feature. Right here you'll see that there's a hole where you can actually put your filament through to save it. I've got a little piece of filament right here. I want to show you this. So when your spool's on the roll and you're not sure what to do with it or how to save it, you just pop that through. There we go. You just pop that through and it saves your filament. And now one of the things that you can do is it makes stacking your filament so much easier, because you can see that you're not now sitting on a lump of filament like you would here. Okay? So that's actually kind of a cool idea. I like that. It works out really well.
Richard, Cheryl has a question for you.
She says play or ABBA for this spool holder. I'm not quite sure what she means by that.
PLA or ABS?
Or PL.
You can, yeah, you can actually.
What kind of material is the best for the spool holder?
Oh, am I good or am I good?
PLA or ABS for the holder. We printed this one in PLA. This is just done in yellow PLA. Oh yeah, I guess I got to go to the other camera again. There we go.
He doesn't usually forget that. That's weird.
Sometimes I'm forgetting lately.
You never forget that. It's weird that you're doing it today.
I got so much I want to talk about today. That's why. Yeah.
Derek Matthews also has a question.
This is done in PLA. You can also see that it's got a spot for your label to go on right here, which is kind of right here. I still think I'm on my upper camera. So there's a little spot for your label to go on. This is printed out of PLA. You can print it out of ABS, but I don't see why you'd need to. Once PLA is printed, it's pretty stable.
Perfectly fine, yeah. There's another one on YouTube too, Derek.
Derek Matthews, does anyone know of a way in slicing or splicing filament to have loads of bits on reels? Yeah, I know what you're getting at there. The only thing I've seen that splices filament together is the Mosaic, and it's where you can bring in 4 different filaments and splice them together for multi-print models. Right now, I know what you're talking about, those little extra bits that are left over on your reel that aren't quite enough to do anything with. You know what I like to do with those is I actually like to take those little bits that I have, take them off the reel, put them into a Ziploc bag, and with a little bit of desiccant. I think I've got a desiccant pack here. This is the type of desiccant that you're going to get inside your spools. I like to take those, just put them in a little bag. So if I've got to do a temperature tower, or I've got to do something small that doesn't require me putting a whole reel on my printer, then I can just go back and grab a little bit of this filament that I have and do a sample cube or a level test or whatever. This is great for that use. So I hope that that helped you. But I will miss the learning tower of filament. The leaning tower of filament. I'm sorry, I can't read today either, obviously. Yes, you'll have a leaning tower of filament when you have too many. Like I have going on right here, back here.
And halfway around the store.
And halfway around the store, yeah. Just so you guys know, and I've been asked this question, do I own Spool 3D? No, I do not own Spool 3D. And it is owned by Derek Solomons, who has been in business for about 3+ years now and has had the retail location for just a little over a year. And Derek is a very good friend of mine and has asked me to do the show out of here, so we've got this wonderful space to do it. So, but I am here Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, so if you have any questions, you can always shoot me an email or you can drop by the store, and I'm always happy to help you out and take care of any questions that you might have. Now, so I can hear the printer humming in the background. What is on the printer today? Okay, you can hear my printer going. What's on the printer? Let's just see if I can't take that over there and see if you guys can't see what's on the printer. Oh, you can't. Okay. So you can't see what's on the printer. But I will tell you, I am printing a set of legs for the CR10S control box. You can find those on Thingiverse. I'm actually printing a second set. I already printed one set. They're out on the floor underneath the CR10 box now. And what it does, it just raises that box up off the ground a little bit, and you can put rubber pads underneath it, that sort of thing. And it basically gives a little bit more airflow underneath. So that's what I'm printing right now. Okay, so Jerry says, use each roll as it runs out or goes through filament sensor change and go to the next partial roll. That's actually a great idea too. On the CR10, or there are some other printers now that come with filament sensors. When it goes through the filament sensor, when it stops, just take some of your extra plastic and put it through there. You won't waste your plastic, that's for sure. So that pretty much takes care of that. Mark, hello, good evening from Malta. Wow. And we've got Emilio Vitt. Hey, there you are, sir. I just talked about you not long ago. So you have to go back and watch the whole episode because I talked about you. With that said, I don't think I have much more to talk about today. So that's all for today. And I want you to remember that if you like today's video, please smash that like button. Oh, wait, I am not done. I will go back to that. I forgot this. Do you know what this is? This is a piece that Jess is working on for an Halo costume, to which I am printing the helmet for her right now. She doesn't have a big enough printer to print the helmet, but she is making a Halo Reach, a Recon. It's Halo Recon, right?
Yeah, that one is, it's not really Recon specific.
It's not Recon specific, but it is for a Halo costume that she is going to be wearing at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. And this, for the cosplayers out there, this is all made from foam, that matte foam that you can buy and your kids jump on and what's that? $15 for a pack of 4, and that'll go a long way in making up some armor for yourself. We're going to show you later on, before we go to Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo, how you can also do this with your 3D printer. So I'm going to give that back to Jess. So that being said, thank you for bringing that in, Jess. I knew I wanted to talk about something, and I forgot all about it. So again, if you like what you see on this show, go ahead and smash that like button because it really helps out the channel when you do that. And if you are so inclined, please do subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you get notified every time we do live stream or we put up a brand new episode. And if you'd like to support the efforts here on the show, there are two ways that you can help, not only by watching, but you can buy me a coffee. And that's at buymeacoffee.com/thefirstlayer. And that goes, what we're doing with all these funds is we're using them to help upgrade some of the equipment in the studio right now. Or you can go to patreon.com/thefirstlayer and help us out there as well. So until next time, remember that the first layer is always the foundation for a good print. Till then, till next time, you guys have yourselves a great day, and I will see you on Monday.